great. The man is he can work. He can talk. He's a physical, like Apollo Crews is like a mini Bobby Lashley. You know what I mean? Like
I apologize. I know we're going business and logic.
No, but it's the same. No, but it's the same thing. You know, but logically, like it's also like Vince. Like I said, Vince being out of touch does not understand that this is exact like. Big E is also what you want and what you need. And a like that's somebody you can taunt around as a black champion. You know what I mean?
He can talk. He's big. He's athletic.
He was in the United States military. God damn, you doing you right now. You're on tribute to the troops on the tour right now. Like, do you know how much? That would be for Bobby having a championship. You know what I mean? Like Army vet going back to so my thing is logic. So Vince is not. We talked about off camera and we wanted to bring it on topic. Like Vince, his circles. You know what I mean? Like he just took 306,000 shares out to get $23 million. Because he has ventures outside of WWE. So logically, he's not there in the business. So and
we're 30 years old. I'm 30. You're 29. I think that we understand that your mind can only be on so many tasks at once.
Exactly.
So when Vince is taking out 1% of his stock and making it liquid to put into other ventures. His mind is not creative. He's not passionate about the business anymore. I'm sure he thinks he is, but he's not passionate about the business anymore.
We can see it in Raw.
And
that's his baby.
That's his baby. We can see it every single week, and we've seen it for a while now. He needs to pass the reins on officially to Paul. And see where it goes. I really am not trying to say this to dog him because I think it's great that he has other ventures. Live your life, bro. Go out there and take on the NFL. Take on the NFL with XFL. Go out there, do your thing, and build something new again. Get excited about something. I don't think he's excited about Raw every week. I don't think he's excited about seeing what we could do to build these new characters every single week. I think he's excited about the money. He's excited about where he can go business wise. Then leave the creative to somebody else. Leave the creative to somebody else, Vince. And it's been way long overdue.
And so like. I think Vince, he realizes that, but he doesn't realize that because you gotta think about it like this is when you talk about business, he bought it when it was in the red from his dad as a state kind of thing. Regional, then territorial, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna black out a market and do
it's unbelievable.
Pay-per-view. And like, so like his like the guy is a genius. He put his stamp on the culture, regardless of how minuscule you think wrestling is or sports entertainment is. It is fucking huge.
Culture causes that are of the culture right now. I don't think they're onto them, and I think actually they might be anti them.
No, I mean they do to be a star. They do to make a wish.
Those are great. I'm talking about the culture, like the movements of the culture, like they're hopping onto the women's. They're hopping onto the women's stuff kind of late. Women have been popping off, but they're hopping onto it, and there's a big push for women in entertainment, in politics, in media. It's all across the globe. So that's the only thing they're hitting, and they're getting that notoriety. When it comes to moving things in terms of any type of general anti-corruption, human rights, civil rights, they're not going to touch that button. And that's why you're not going to see the wave they do, because they don't take risk. They don't take risks like that. And there's ways to tell those stories in a topical, inventive way and respectful and tactful, but they don't want to put that energy.
Look at Vince when he
even
does
with the women, they can do better.
Look at Vince with the XFL though. Like, players will stand for the anthem. Why is that? My thing is that bro, you should be anti whatever the establishment is, and he wants to be so legitimate.
Yeah.
Like, and we talked about it last week of how wrestling isn't legitimate because it's sports entertainment. It's its own genre.
They'll never be included in the club. They will never be included in the sports club. So if Vince wants to do that, he has to go to XFL, build something, and maybe you'll get that club pass where you can be one of those big ballers in the sports field. Get that real money, like we were saying, be a sports owner.
That real money, Vince. Like we see, like the reason why Donald Trump
not that
is
he's
president,
not making money, but
the reason why Donald Trump is president because he doesn't have that real money.
Yeah, Donald Trump ain't part of the club. He wasn't part of the club.
Shout out to Buffalo. Shout out to Mr. Pagula. You did well. You're gonna bring the Bills downtown. We appreciate that. But they stopped them from Donald Trump getting getting the bills, and like when you don't have that money, you can't sit and you can't be accepted. Uh-huh. And even with this XFL, like this XFL shit ain't accepted.
Yeah, it's gonna be uphill climb. He has to set the foundation for something that's gonna actually gain steam slowly and build it. That's like almost like what they're trying to do with All Elite versus WWE. All Elite has a tough hill to climb. XFL is going to have a tough hill to climb to come back with something like NFL. If they can hit the right market, maybe they can take a chunk of the portion of the viewers, but I don't see that even working. So go ahead, do that. Hopefully it goes successfully. I'm not, I don't know why you're taking a stance on the whole kneeling thing right now with the XFL already, because that's on the wrong side of history. That's, it's just not, it's not going to be, we're going to look back on people saying, oh, you should stand for the anthem as dumb in about 15 minutes.
And that's the reason why I'm saying, like, that's the reason why I'm saying logically, like, the guy just, like, he doesn't have the right people around him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even people are supposed to nudge him and be like, hey, man, it's articles saying that everything they're doing is wrong.
Everything.
Like everything. Bro, like they were taking money from the military. Because you're not going to see on the back,
you're not going to see it on your end report yet, because you're going to see that trickle down effect down the line with the money with WWE going down. You're not going to see it today, and you can get that $1 billion taken for Fox, but you keep putting on this shitty TV, you're going to see that a couple years from now, the payoff of that. It's not going to happen off the bat, where it's like, oh my God, you see it in the financials. That's going to happen down the line, because people have now tuned out. Now you're getting less merch. Now you're getting less ticket sales.
I think what saves them, business-wise, very, very smart for Vince, is to listen to Paul and have NXT as their third brand. Because as they have NXT, they just have an instant farm system to where they can replenish stars, because therefore
it's a genius.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. So he's never gonna get to the point where you're like, in a couple of years, like by 2019 October when they're on Fox, bro. By that time, Alistair is gonna be up. We may have Adam Cole there. Ronda may have moved to SmackDown, so that's different. Like, you know what I mean. So like they have positioned themselves to where like, okay, like, I can legit coast at this point because I have these other ventures. You know what I mean? Because the people who are here are going to be here. Even though they had the lowest ratings this week of SmackDown,
keep going on, though.
I understand, but bro, I understand. But what also is not taken into accountability is that, like, that is still 2 million people.
Yes, 2 million people. Yes, it is. Granted, you guys are, but it's going. It's not like you're not getting the numbers of certain sports, events. You're not getting those numbers. So let's not be kidding yourself. Like, you're not getting the numbers that you used to get. So I'm not saying that you got to even compete with that. But going forward, like I'm saying, like, you're not going to see it on the books this year just because the viewership is going down. You're going to see it in about 5 years where it's like, wow, we were really losing money.
But if they pick up steam, all I'm saying is that I totally agree with that. Vince creatively has probably lost a step when it comes to this particular juncture, because it shows with how people are presented. like we look at NXT and with Triple H being
he still has the passion
over there. Like he has the passion, and he still understands the taste buds of the people that he's feeding.
Vince, I don't think Vince has ever been. I think he loves the art, of course. I don't think he's ever been. I don't think he's understand the art to the degree that Dusty did. You know, I think Vince is more of a businessman / creative, whereas Dusty's like a creative. You know, like so. I think that's where I see more Trips being more of a creative on the Dusty side, and I think he's being true to the business. I think Trips doesn't see himself as being an owner of some NBA team.
I think also Trips and Dusty had the storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the storytelling.
They have the storytelling to where it leads up to the bout for me. You know what I mean? Like, they have the ideas and the ideology to make. They have a bout in mind, and then they work backwards to tell a story to where it gives it a nice, juicy narrative, and it's important. You know what I mean? To how it will be opposite to where you build up into a fight to make it important. You know what I mean? Like, so it allows you to have both those elements. You look at, Dusty and Rick back in the day, to where they wanted to tell that story, and how they told it was like perfect.
Yeah.
Like, the penmanship was perfect. Triple H wanting to be the man and running over Austin, and you know what I mean, telling that story backwards. That's perfect storytelling. So I think that when you have someone that is creative enough to be because Vince was also never a performer in the theater. He was, but he wasn't.
I mean, he made himself a performer.
But when you make yourself a performer.
Okay, yeah. He don't got time to be like in the gym.
But that's what
I mean. He's in the gym, but like not in the gym as a wrestler.
But that's how that story is. That's how that story is. He does it in a different way. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how that story is created when you look at Triple H telling the story of Gargano and Ciampa. You know what I mean? Like, he understands that, okay, like, I've been on the road. Like, I've had a best friend. Us being hella close and running the loops and doing things together is perfect to get a crowd and an audience and an invitingness.
Into a frenzy, like, they feel like they're part of
that pop when they won in Toronto. Was it Toronto? When DIY won in Toronto?
I don't not go to dates.
But they won the tag titles. That was people were crying in the crowd. And then fast forward to Chicago when Ciampa turns on Gargano, and like people were crying in the crowd. So like, for Triple H to be in that, dude, like, I know that.
Yeah.
I know how I would do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I did it. I ran over my guy I paid a guy to do it and framed somebody else for it.
Yo, the 90s storylines are so off the fucking wall. Yeah, but it was brilliant though. Still, it was so brilliant. I think you're right. I think that Trips has that bug, the same bug that Dusty had, and I think that if he takes over the main roster, being the head writer for that, and we can see a change. I don't know how he would have NXT run, or I'm not sure if he would control both of them, but I think
because he's already burning the candle with NXT.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah. But if it's not gonna be Vince taking the main roster. Vince can't. I mean, Triple H's not gonna stay.
Again, I just think Vince just needs to Vince doesn't get the creative that we will buy to. Like you said, he's a businessman. He's not really paying attention to what's going on SmackDown. How endearing that is to the audience. You know what I mean? Like, Becky has been on a fucking grind.
Yeah.
And for Becky to be in a stage to where, like, we're highlighting that almost organically. You're allowing her to have that feeling that we felt before.
Yeah,
like
it's like a drip of water in a desert. It's like a oasis in a desert. That Becky is that for us. It's like, okay, they have something and they went with it and it worked the perfect way that we wanted it to. Like, that's the character we wanted. That's compelling. That's who she should be. You know, and
that's also not Vince writing it either.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's Paul Heyman.
Shout out to the Paul.
Shout out to Paul E. Dangerously. But I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no idea who's helping Becky write this. I think it's a lot of her too coming out and being just raw with it. And I don't know how we got to Becky from Business and Logic.